Wow. The differences between Brain and Dramatic and SUPERDRAMAGO. I think that the inception of SUPERDRAMAGO is most certainly Brain and Dramatic. So there is no one without the other. And how the one came about, which would be Brain and Dramatic, was I am, of course, Brandon. And I feel like I really came to become the creative person that I am in all facets when I was in music theater. And that was when I was in high school. No High School Musical jokes? Okay, good. I learned a lot about myself in that time, and I knew that graduating, I wanted to continue with that, and I wanted to see where that went. So that moniker was something that stuck with me. And then I did that traveling. I went around and I learned so much more about myself, so much more about the world, and Super was really just an upgrade of that, where Dramago was like a shortened version of Brand and Dramatic. It really means progressive conflict, and it taught me to face the things that I may be worried or hesitant or concerned about, because on the other side of that is something that I am looking for and I just don't know it yet. It's hard to describe because I feel like the one obstacle is really a coin with two sides. And one side of that is finding the means when you have all of these ideas, like how do I get this one thing done? How do I get this thing done? And those are in the earlier phases of your creative life. And then later on, you really get a feel for like who you are, who you have been, who you'd like to be. And now you face the other side of the coin, which is I have this abundance of resources and friends I can reach out to. And now I just have to pick the one thing that I actually want to do right now. I think that emotions play a huge role in my creative process, so much so to a point that I dedicated myself to having a career outside of music because I knew what music meant to me. I've lived a life of being someone's student. I've been someone's employee to supervise. I've been my father's son. I've been an uncle to my niece and nephew, a brother to my siblings, but I never got to be my me. And I felt like with my creativity, if I put that in a place where I was automatically trying to get to another goal, then I'm thinking about that point B by any means necessary, rather than just enjoying the process for the process itself. And that's why I find it's really important for my creativity to be something that doesn't limit what emotion I can show, and especially considering the fact that I learned my range of emotion through my creativity as well. And with that, my motivation becomes preserving play. I represent a collective called the Super Midnight Arcade. And arcade, we're very much like big fans of video games because that spawned a lot of our creativity. But the name arcade, the word arcade, is synonymous with gallery. And when I think about an art gallery with, be it paintings, sculptures, whatever, I think about a place where these things are protected. There's nothing else that's going to interrupt this. There's no person that can step into this environment and say, oh, this needs to be like this and this needs, no, this is an aesthetic, this is a vibe, and we are protecting this, and anything else can exist everywhere else, it's just not here. And that is the foundation of my creativity, is just allowing for maybe the unconventional, that which is not as much welcomed, to have a place that it can call home. That's really not a fair question to ask. There's so many songs that you can get to, especially you know what? Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. Miles Davis, Kind of Blue is the soundtrack to my upbringing. It's the soundtrack to my right now, even. A very short but concise 5-track album that may very well be my favorite album of all time of any genre. Flamenco Sketches is my birthday song. Blue and Green is monumentally important in a way that I'd rather not share right now, but it's been the soundtrack to a lot of moments in my life, and it's also been my break from a lot of moments in life to collect myself and then step back into things, you know, reinvigorated, you know.
What song is this?
This is two songs. This is two songs. One is Crossfire, and the other is I'm So Into You by Tamia, but it's all sung by Napalm of Hiatus Coyote. And it is also very, very important. If I had like a soundtrack to my life playlist, then this would definitely be there, probably within like the first top 5. It's a very, very important. And I love that Tamia record originally. And oh my gosh. I wonder where I was when I even first heard this song. I think I was with my guy Fresh Kills. We're in the studio, and I don't even think we were actually working on music. Maybe we were playing basketball that day, perhaps. And I remember the first time I heard this. It's like a list of songs that I've actually like cried once I heard, and this is a part of that very short list of songs. I don't know how else to describe it. There's so many I mean, I think that growing up, I'm So Into You by Tamia was a very important record in my upbringing as well. I'm a big fan of R&B. I'm a big fan of slow jams. And I feel like that is just one of those timeless classics. So I'll love it when I hear Tamia singing it. I love it when Fabulous is kicking 16s over it. And I love her rendition of it as well. And then this Crossfire, and just like the bars in it, you know, a crossroad is better than a crossfire. Like, I'd rather have the argument with you and still be fighting rather than let go of it all and have nothing to fight for anymore. I think it's a very poignant thing, and it also shows a level of just strength and conviction that I wish to emulate, and I'm probably not there just yet. But you hear that song and it's like, oh man, yeah, I remember, like, it reminds you of like the type of partner that you like to be, you know, not just what you like to receive from someone, but what would you like to give?